In marine biology, whalefall is the slow descent of a dead whale to the ocean floor. As the whale floats down, various animals strip its body, eat it as it descends. When it lands on the bottom of the ocean, various crustaceans will make it their new home. Its bones will become a new colony. The whale gives back to the ocean that sustained its life for many, many years. So, very poetic, beautiful title to an amazing read. I really enjoyed this. Beautiful cover as well. This was the first thing that caught my eye, with the scuba diver falling into a mouth of a huge, massive sperm whale. Well, this certainly isn't your typical science fiction story. The author did go to great lengths to get the science right. He actually got the idea for writing this book while watching a YouTube video of a whale coming up out of the water and almost swallowing a kayaker. You may have seen that video.
No.
So this is how the idea started, and Daniel Krause went to great lengths speaking with different scientists to find out whether that's actually possible, whether it's somehow feasible for a whale to swallow a human. And while not true for most whales, even the biggest ones, when it comes to sperm whale, their throat is big enough to theoretically at least swallow a human being. And of course he did great research about anatomy of the whale, so the body decomposition, rates, all kinds of stuff is really accurate, well written in this book, and that's great to know.
5 minutes later.
This is what happens in this story, and I couldn't wait to read it. Now, I read this as part of New Author November. I have not read anything by Daniel Krause before, and I'm glad I did. This was a fantastic change of pace. Let me tell you a little bit about what the story is. No spoilers, this is all on the back of the blurb. We have Jay. He's a 17-year-old boy, a tortured soul. I believe when he was 15, he left home. He has a very difficult relationship with his dad. Or he had a difficult relationship with his dad. His dad was somewhat abusive, especially in the beginning. That's how it seems. Drunk. He was a scuba diver. His father was all about being a scuba diver, all about the ocean. He loves the ocean. He hates land. He hates people. He is relating to his son Jay only through the prism of scuba diving and the lessons that can be taught while scuba diving. Very interesting, the relationship between the two of them was. Now, Jay goes on a scuba dive in Monterey, California, to find his dad's remains. His dad had cancer and he couldn't slowly die. He couldn't see himself fading that way. He commits suicide by drowning in the ocean he loved so much. So his dad puts weights into his pockets, jumps into the ocean from a boat, and dies. Jay is trying to recover some sort of relationship with his dad and prove something to everyone by finding his body. And this is really where the story takes off. Once Jay is in the ocean, swimming through the kelp forest, getting deeper and deeper, we are enveloped in a beautiful, very evocative environment. The ocean, the animals that are there, and at one point, Jay sees a giant squid. They're very rare. He is mesmerized. Then it turns out that squid is being chased by the sperm whale. Jay gets pulled into the mouth of the sperm whale and ends up being swallowed. Ends up being in one of the, well, actually, he goes through several of the stomachs. I think the whale has 4 stomachs. Jay is alive because he's got the scuba gear on him, protecting him, a heavy 7mm scuba suit. He's got his tank, of course, with oxygen that will last him maybe about an hour. Of course, that depends on whether the whale dives deep into the ocean, because that would kill Jay very quickly. The pressure would. In any case, we are in this incredible environment inside the stomach of a whale along with Jay. This was incredible, fascinating, very evocative, very visceral. Jay goes through all kinds of injuries while there. This is difficult to read. For some, it may be a little bit too difficult. I encourage you to read the book anyway because it's fascinating. Jay now has to figure out a way to escape, to survive. Will he? Won't he? I really didn't know what was gonna happen until the very end, and I think you will as well be fascinated by Jay's struggle to survive. The only thing I didn't like about this book was it was constantly jumping between two worlds. And we were being pulled. I wanted to be inside the stomach, but we were getting these flashbacks all the time of Jay's relationship with Dad. And they definitely pulled me out because I wanted to put myself in Jay's fins, right? I wanted to be there. And this was kind of getting in that in the way of that experience for me, but still it was excellent. Jay is obviously a tortured soul, and while inside this whale, he is communing with his father. He is trying to put their life together as he knows he's about to die, most likely, right? So fascinating book. What I didn't like about it also was how short the chapters are. I mean, they're just like paragraphs. Each chapter is so short. There's rarely a chapter longer than 2 pages. It just keeps going like this. So it's very choppy read, but it's a very quick read also because of these short paragraph length chapters. It's done that way because we're given the PSIs for Jay's tank as they dwindle, as his oxygen supply goes. Obviously, when you're in the ocean, you rely on that oxygen. This is what's going to keep you alive. It's your life support system. So I understand why Daniel Krause did that, made those short chapters, but it did feel a little bit choppy. But overall, a great read, very exciting, unique, different, very foreign environment, obviously being inside the belly of this beast, but it was fascinating. The ending was great. I love this book. So anyway, I recommend Whalefall. I think you're gonna fall in love with this book, or at the very least, you're gonna be entertained. Thanks for watching.